I want to take a moment to now really center the conversation and recognize that no matter where you're dialing in from, if you are in Western New York, and certainly our team is joining from that space, we are on lands that are in the territory of the Seneca Nation, which is a member of the Haudenosaunee Six Nations Confederacy. This territory is covered by the Dish with One Spoon Treaty of Peace and Friendship, which was a pledge to peaceably share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. It is also covered by the 1794 Treaty of Canandaigua between the United States government and the Six Nations Confederacy, which further affirmed Haudenosaunee land rights and sovereignty in the state of New York. Today, this region is still home to the Haudenosaunee people, and we're grateful for the opportunity to live, work, and share ideas in this territory. I am deeply honored to welcome my dear friend, Michael Martin, who is an Onondaga of the Beaver Clan from the Six Nations of the Grand River Territory in Southern Ontario, and Executive Director of Native American Community Services here in the city of Buffalo. Michael, if you would help us center our day and begin today's meeting with a good mind.
Thank you, Julie. I say, Iskano, I give thanks and greetings and thanks for your health and well-being. It's an honor to be here with you this morning and hopefully give you some words to help you start off in a good way the powerful work you're about to take on today. And very important work for the health and well-being of all people that call this place home. As Julie said, the Haudenosaunee originally is part with the Eries and the Neutrals that came into being with the Senecas and then Tuscaroras who came later in the 1700s to occupy this space and to create community. And when I think of community, I personally like to think of unity. I break it down as it's unity and commonality. And it's more important that we find those things that we have in common than we have those things that separate and divide us. That's a colonizer type mentality, to divide and conquer. So I want to lift up that power that you have in working together in a way to create a better community for all who now call this place home. We had a peacemaker who brought us the message of the great law of peace. And in that great law, there were three tenets of peace, power, and righteousness. And when we talk about peace, you can describe it as balance and harmony within yourself, balance and harmony with each other, and balance and harmony with all of the natural world. And when we talk about power, it's not like power like control over another. It's the power of the collective, the power in unity, the power of people coming together. And the way the peacemaker demonstrated that is he took an arrow and he went village to village to unify the original 5 nations of our Confederacy. He would pick the strongest warrior and give that warrior that arrow and ask him to break it. And of course, after a little effort, he was able to do so. And then he bundled 5 arrows together to signify those 5 nations, bundled them together and gave it right back to that warrior and asked him to break it, and he couldn't do it. And that simple act just demonstrated that when bounded together with what we call good minds, we're stronger together than we are apart. And that third element of that great law of peace, righteousness, is what was referred to, but we call it Ganaquio or Ganagohio, the good mind. And the good mind is both an individual power, but also a collective power. And when good minds come together, the ultimate benefit of good minds gathering, there's actually an extra energy that gets created. It's called the renda. And, I like to think of it, people talk about it as this extra energy, like a vibration that permeates through all and draws other people in. I also like to think of it as, that extra energy coming from our ancestors who are with us, standing with us because they like what we're doing. The benefit of good minds coming together, such as you are today, is the production of positive, sustainable solutions for all. We come without judgment and we come with a good mind. We can find the solutions of the challenges of today to make a better today and tomorrow for our future 7 generations. And so one of the ways we ground ourselves in good-mindedness is through our perspective of giving thanks. We live in a perspective of gratitude and abundance. And so one of the things that we do as Haudenosaunee is a daily practice, but especially a practice when we come together as people to kind of lift up and reaffirm all of our good-mindedness is to recite what we call a Thanksgiving. And it could be a very long version, and I don't have that much time, So I'm just going to give a short interpretation of one for you, just so you can have the idea of it and take it into your being today as you go about the work you're about to embark on. And one of the first things that we do is give thanks to the people that you arrived here safely, because you know, people get in accidents every day, and you know, we know life's fragile. It's a special gift. The fact that you woke up and were able to breathe and take in life and start your day, it's an amazing gift, and we're thankful that we're doing thanks that you made it to this shared space, although virtually, that we're sharing in today. We think about those that aren't with us, that might be weighing on our mind, that loved ones, colleagues, friends that are maybe troubled or going through some difficulties. We think about them, but we set them aside so we can be present in the moment we have together. Because anytime, you know, humans interconnect, it's a sacred time, because it might not ever repeat itself again. You know, some of us get to walk a journey together for a long time, but this special moment of all of you as individuals coming together in this moment may not ever repeat itself ever again. So we want to honor that by being present and fully invested in the space and making sure it's a shared safe space for everybody. And we think about those that came before us and those that are yet to come. And then after each verse, our speakers would say, we now bring ourselves together and put our minds together to give thanks, in this case for the people. And you'll hear usually an affirmation of that in the crowd. And then I was taught to go from the ground up. We give thanks to things like our Mother Earth. We'll give thanks to the waters and fishes in those waters. And again, we're just giving thanks and acknowledging those gifts of creation that were intended to keep us healthy and well. We feel we have a benevolent creator, one who wants us to be healthy and well, and give us those gifts of the natural world. And we need water. Water is life. And so we give thanks and acknowledge that, and, you know, have water available. It's a cleansing, it's healing, it's healthy. And you can replace tears with water in a healthy way. So we give thanks to waters and the fishes in those waters. We give thanks to the plant world, those things we use to nourish our bodies, that we use, that we call our medicines. And we'll give thanks to, like, the trees. And again, without the trees taking our CO2 and turning it into oxygen, we can't breathe. We can't live on this planet. And so it shows how fragile a gift it is. Just like water, they're looking throughout all the universe for another planet that has water on it. We have that gift here, and we have to be mindful, honor, respect it, and take care of it, just like we do those trees. And then we give thanks, and we go on, and we'll give thanks to the animal world, two-legged, four-legged wings, what we call our four winds, our grandfathers the thunders, our grandmother moon, all the stars and celestial beings. We'll give thanks to what we call our four spirit guides, our protectors that help us on our life journey. We'll give thanks to who we call Sangwai Tiso, our creator, for all of these gifts of creation. And finally, you know, the speaker would say, you know, this is a duty thrust upon me, and nothing I have said was meant to offend. And if there's anything that you're thankful for that I didn't mention, that you do that in your own way. But living in that perspective of gratitude and abundance, that there's enough for everybody. And if we work together through those teachings of the great law of peace, we can achieve more together than we can. We can make sure everybody's needs are met. And we know just in this day alone, there are far too many of our fellow community members and citizens that go without those very basics of life, right? You got up and you had a roof over your head, food available for you to eat. You was chilly out, so you had blankets and things to keep you warm. You have people who have love, care, and concern for you. And we know too many of our fellow people go without those very basics. And so the work that you're doing to create a more equitable development in this place we all now call home, so that we can have community and unity based in commonality, those very basic needs of humanity that we all need, that clean air, that clean water, the food, that sustenance, that oxygen from the natural world. I hope that you can develop those positive solutions by putting your good minds together here today and in the work you do. And I just want to say, now thank you for each and every one of you for the work you do in our communities to make this world a better place now and into the future 7 generations. Now,
Thank you, Michael.
So much, Michael, for your contribution and setting the stage for us today. For anyone that's interested in learning more about the history of Indigenous people in Western New York, the Partnership for Public Good has put together a detailed fact sheet. It's very good. And there's also a link to the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, which my colleague Brittany will be dropping in the chat for anyone who wants more information.